Hello guys, in today's video I'm gonna break down and one big misconception about self-service analytics, right? And before I go into it, I'm gonna break down into this video what is this big misconception and how you can achieve a self-service analytics, aka to actually produce revenue by using data or achieve any particular your business goal like decreasing your churn, increasing your retention, increasing your lifetime value per customer, and gaining the insights of your business that you couldn't do before in a faster, more frictionless manner by basically with one click, and that's basically it. So at the end you're going to be knowing how to actually achieve self-service using the data, aka meaning that you are able to access the data right now, and of course gaining the insights from the data so you're able to produce that big growth, because everyone knows that the data is the new oil. Now, before I start, we are at the Stella. I've generated way over 10 plus million just by turning the data in raw data to actionable insights to other companies in the technical industry and the other industries as well, adjacent industries. We created multiple custom analytical dashboard solutions, BI, and just our goal is to empower businesses and organizations with data by turning their raw data into actionable insights so they're able to grow, increase their enterprise value, and so on, right? We work with multiple industries and etc and so on. This is our main goal that we want to achieve, so I hope you like the video. Now, before I go, before so I don't chat too much, what is basically self-service, right? Now, before I go into self-service, we need to understand what is the goal with the data. What businesses do want to achieve with the data, right? The goal with data with businesses is to empower leaders, users, employees, aka the organization, whole organization, with actionable insights that can utilize to grow business to their goals, meaning to increase your revenue, increase your retention, lifetime value, decrease your churn, and so on, the profits, etc. Right? All right, and sky's the limit with it. I mean, you can literally do whatever you want because you can. There's so much potential from using just data for your reporting and your analysis for what happened, why it happened, why did it happen, to using data for your AI, machine learning to uncover why things might happen. Okay, for predictive analytics, what might happen next, and so on and so forth. Right, the sky's the limit. And so data can provide you even a fraction of value. You need to have it custom. Okay, there's a quite big rule that we utilize, which is basically data has to be aligned with your goals, needs, and priorities at any stage life cycle of your company. And of course, this has to apply to the end users and of course overall of the company. Now, this is basically so everybody understands what's the goal. Now, with the self-service analytics, this is basically a marketing tactic which just came into the industry, been quite a while, from these big vendors, that made people believe that there is such a magical tool out there that business leaders can go there, create their own solutions or whatever it is, get the answers from it. The big problem is they assume that business leaders have time or even expertise in learning the SQL, any programming language, having expertise in data analytics, in engineering and software development, understanding a new tool, understanding how complex queries work, and of course bridging the gap alone with business and data, right? These alone a big skill, which is the biggest, probably the big thing that most organizations are lacking, right? And to think that the business leaders, your VP of sales, your CMOs and CEOs, whoever is watching this video, will do that, it's very absurd. And that's completely not the case. No. When people say self-service, they don't mean they need to go and learn it and all of this stuff, because of course they don't have expertise. But they mean I need access to the data, I need insights, and I need not dependency. Okay, I don't want to be dependent on anybody else. Okay, in short lines, when somebody says not dependent, they mean I don't want to wait, right? I don't want to wait. Maybe this is gonna be better. Uh, let's say fast. Let's this fast, right? Meaning they want access, insights, and being fast. Whenever somebody wants data, they want it to access it now. The insight actually to produce value with data. People don't need metrics; they need insights, right? And of course, fast. It has to be fast because nobody wants to wait for data. It can be dependent on somebody else. And business leaders watching this, you need to data to access now in the correct formats that will provide you with the actionable insights. Of course, these are correct. There are certain frameworks that everybody utilizes. Here at the Stella, you can watch a couple of videos back of how we utilize correct framework to actually gain and remove surface level metrics, okay, things that you shouldn't track, and only track things that are North Star things, okay, provide you with the insights so you can achieve your goals. Now, so how to achieve your self-service analytics, okay, actually produce, turn your data into asset, okay, revenue. Now, I think for now everybody understands what I mean by self-service. This is completely absurd to expect somebody, business leader, okay, to learn some new thing that's complex, okay, right? And to achieve self-service, okay, to actually turn your data into revenue, okay, asset, first step is strategy, okay, 20% rule, okay, with data, okay, deriving the value from the data is 80% strategy and 20% of engineering. Of course, those 20% of engineering is very crucial and important, but if you don't have your strategy in place, your foundation in place, you will lose. You will not produce any single dollar of return on investment with data. Now, to do that, you need deep stakeholder alignment. Everybody needs to agree on correct metrics, definitions, so on. Building custom data strategy. This is basically the whole concept of the data strategy and to producing value with data. And user interviews to understand and uncover who is going to be using this solution, like analytics solution, data analytics solution, dashboards, what are their decision making, what are their goals, priorities, and needs, and so on. How do they think, what is good, bad, what actions are going to take, and so on. Actionable insight framework. These are the framework that I mentioned previously, meaning how we actually derive and remove surface level metrics to uncover actionable insight. Now, remember the rule: data will only work and provide a ROI if it's custom to your goals, needs, and priorities at any stage lifecycle of the company. And of course, that applies to end users and of course overall the company. This is why it's important. Governance, of course, having the data dictionary so everybody knows how things are calculated, from what source they are pulled, what are they pulled, what format they are in, simple data contracts, okay, what solutions mean, alignment on KPIs, okay, everybody needs to align with what KPIs mean, everybody needs to understand when they are on board meetings, and so on, talking with the investors and the other executives to derive and to focus on the exact definition. If someone, this is probably one of the biggest reasons why inaccuracy in data happens, right? Meaning people think that the data is inaccurate, but in reality they just don't know how it's calculated. Correct infrastructure, meaning correct infrastructure is basically this simple: data sources, your ETLs, your data warehouses, and data visualization tools, meaning you're able to, if you're just starting out, you don't need complex, everything has to be custom, of course, made, meaning to align those infrastructure needs has to align your goals, needs, and priorities. Of course, has to be scalable, and of course has to align your current needs, not down the line. One thing that you need to make sure that all your insights, your metrics have to be calculated inside of your data warehouse, because the data warehouse, the synonym of data warehouse, is a source of truth, and every single thing inside of there should be calculated, formatted, and of course in correct formats, and of course has to be accurate, right? Because you're going to be using those data in multiple solutions, let's say custom analytical dashboards, maybe AI, and so forth and so forth. And if you just calculate in a different solution each one, you're going to get confused, and it's going to be a mess because a single solution is going to have a different calculation. This is just like a simple warning. Now, data champions, this is one thing that people miss. These are the business leaders, managers of specific each department who have access to the analytical dashboards and solutions. And of course, they also have access to a most granular data, right? Meaning they have access to what we call data marts. So those are data marts. Basically, the data marts are most granular data, so they don't need to depend or wait on anyone else. They can use the data in the day-to-day if they want to have it. That this is not inside of the dashboards and custom analytical solutions. They can faster move and provide you with the feedback of the data, meaning as they're using more data, they will tell them what they need to uncover more actionable insights so they can grow more company. Okay, they're actually being data driven in their day-to-day. And of course, all data is accurate. But in short lines, they are equipped with the things, with the data that is allocated inside of the data marts, meaning in the tool that doesn't require a high steep learning curve, aka Google Sheets, that can be. And they can use it next to their custom analytical solutions dashboards and so on, right? Meaning to be able to achieve these results below, right? And basically, this is the true thing about self-servers. Okay, it gives them the access, gives them the insights, and it's fast. They don't depend, right? And let me just do the most granular data like this. And of course, And basically this is the thing, and this is how it looks like. Data warehouse, all this data is correctly in here. And of course, let's say your marketing leaders, marketing product manager has a data mart inside of here, inside of the Google Sheet, and they can use it whenever they have an idea to look something up aside from their customer analytical solutions, dashboards, and so forth and so forth, right? Then they have iterations. Of course, the fourth thing is your data solutions and analytical dashboards and etc. so on has to be maintained, but more so has to adapt to your goals, needs, and priorities at any stage of your life cycle of your company. Business changes, the priorities change, and it has to adapt. If it doesn't adapt, it's going to become worthless, right? And that's one of the things that you need to make sure that it is, and of course constantly recommending new solutions, new metrics, new features, and so on. That's what we currently do with at Astela. We have so many companies analytical or in our organization that we see what works, what's not, what provides the highest ROI, what generates X amount of dollars in revenue, and so forth and so forth, and we can recommend to other companies as well to apply, of course, if it matches their goals, needs, and priorities. And this is basically it. To summarize everything, true self-service, if you think, is to have your data. Okay, when business leader says, "I want a self-service thing" or anything like that, they want to the data access fast. They want to have the data provided the insights, and of course, it has to be there, like accessible. To be able to do that, the first thing is strategy, the second thing is governance, then there is a correct infrastructure to build it. The data champions are the business leaders, make sure correctly, are the business leaders who have access to the most granular data, okay, in the data mart. These data marts are tools, okay, that don't require steep learning curve, like Google Sheets. And this will help them that they don't depend on anybody else. They can access things fast, insights. They can use it for provide you the insight, and of course, they then don't require any deep learning curve, right? And of course, they are using data into day to day. And the biggest thing here is they are not dependent on anybody else. The biggest thing is here, and this is basically true self-service next to their custom analytical solutions, dashboards, and so on. And no, so basically, and the fourth thing, iterations. This constantly has to adapt and improve overall. Okay, so you're able to increase your data maturity curve. Okay, data maturity of your overall company, which basically means how effectively are you using the data in your day-to-day as a whole organization to provide you more and more value. Now, this is basically the end. If you're looking to build custom analytical dashboards, solutions, BI, and turn your raw data into actually actionable insights to produce your revenue, increase your retention, increase your lifetime value, and of course any specific goals, you can book a call with our exploration team, and we will be glad to help you. See you soon.